you. Thank you. "48 years of hardship. Yes, I've had some highlights, but overall, it's been tough to be me. I have tasted the sweet nectar of success, but more often than not, I've been the butt of jokes, and I've tasted the bitter taste of defeat. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who has ever felt like they are cheering for the wrong team, tonight, I am going to share with you my experiences as a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. Do you know what the Leafs and the Blue Jays have in common? Neither one can play hockey. These are the types of jokes that I have experienced my whole life. In fact, in my whole life, the Leafs have never won hockey's ultimate prize, Lord Stanley's Cup. The Cup has been seen in hockey hotbeds like Anaheim, California, Tampa Bay, Florida, and who can forget Raleigh, North Carolina. The only solace I've had as a Leaf fan is that no Canadian team has won the Cup since 1993. The salt in that wound is that the team that last won that Stanley Cup in 1993 for a Canadian team was the despisable, deplorable Montreal Canadiens. Yes, I have faced a lot of wounds as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Some have even been self-inflicted. Picture me, an innocent 10-year-old boy who only wants a Lanny McDonald Toronto Maple Leaf jersey. I still remember that frosty December morn when I ripped open the package, and there, shining like a beacon, my sweater. I wore it to bed that night and to school the next day. And then, 3 short weeks later, my innocence ripped apart. For the Leafs trade Lanny McDonald to Colorado. And my beloved jersey becomes a dust collector in my closet, never to be worn again. We wandered the wilderness for 14 more years. But then, in 1993, a plucky Toronto Maple Leaf team was playing in May. And it wasn't golf. It was hockey. We found ourselves in the Western Conference Final against Wayne Gretzky and the LA Kings. We were leading the series 3-2. And we had the Kings right where we wanted them. We were trailing by 2 goals in the third period. And that's when our mighty captain, Wendell Clark, wristed 2 shots home. We were going to overtime. I saw a vision of Toronto playing Montreal in the Stanley Cup final. Unfortunately, Leafs' world turned upside down in overtime. For our star player, Doug Gilmour, bleeding profusely from the chin, replays clearly show it was Wayne Gretzky's stick, but the referee decides it was the puck that hit him. No penalty for Gretzky, and to add insult to injury, guess who scores the overtime winner for LA? Wayne Gretzky. Ugh. Okay, we've had other highlights. Does anyone remember 2013, May? Where was I, you may ask? I was in this very room. for my love and dedication of Toastmasters is almost as great as my love for Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs are playing Boston. Game 7. My good friend Bob is showing me the scores throughout the meeting. It's 4-1 and we're in the 3rd period. I'm elated. As we're packing up the room, Bob comes to me with a worried look on his face. He flashes the phone. 4-2 Toronto. Ah, don't worry, Bob. They got this one. We drive to the cafe. 4-3 Toronto. I park my car. 4-4. At that point, I wish the cafe had sold something stronger than coffee. The inevitable happens. The Leafs' collapse is epic. And again, a punch to the solar plex, and I feel like a relative has died. I called in sick for work the next day and wore black the whole week. But now, my friends, now it's good to be me. For the Toronto Maple Leafs find themselves in the rarefied air of first place in the NHL. We have a vaulted and scary offense. We have one of arguably the best players in the league. And we have an American who's actually a good player. We've got it all. And I'm excited and thrilled with the latest news. So I remind you, if you have Toronto Maple Leaf fans in your social circle, forgive them if they strut into that work meeting. Or if you say to them, hey, how about those Leafs? They proudly puff out their chests. You may even hear some unprompted, go Leafs, go, chants while at work. But don't worry. With all that pain and agony we suffered, don't you think we deserve a little bit of giddiness and excitement? And that is the joy of cheering for a team. You ride that wonderful roller coaster. And right now we're going up, and I just hope it doesn't go down too fast. So I am going to make you all honorary Leaf fans, and I ask you right now, join me in a chant. Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Mr. Toastmaster.